Well, good morning, y'all. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Today's Q&A Wednesday. It's the third week of every month. I'm going to start a Q&A series where on Wednesdays I answer questions that everybody asks me and have a little fun with it. So with that in mind, let's get started. First question is, what is my favorite golf memory ever? I'd have to say my favorite ever memory would probably have to be my freshman year playing Garrett Bow and making a 10-footer to have the match on 9 in match play. That's a fun memory for me because I think it was really the first time that I seen competition, and it made me realize that, okay, this is a lot of fun, and I wanted to keep playing. And I really think that's part of the reason why I kept playing competitively, because it was a lot. When you had putts to keep in a match or win a match or have a match, and you made them, the feeling and adrenaline that came from that was a lot of fun. All right, question number 2. I kind of got asked this question twice, so I'm gonna combine them. And it was, what was my favorite / best golf course I've ever played at? And it really isn't anything. The golf course I'm gonna mention really wasn't special, but it had meaning to me though, and it's Diablo Grande, the ranch course up in Pleasanton. Love that golf course because it was the first golf course I'd ever played a tournament on. It shut down 2 years ago, and so I can't go and play it again. But I wish I could go play it now with my game to see where it is now, because I remember playing that golf course and thinking it was really hard. And in reality, looking back on it, it wasn't. It was just where my game was. And so I really think that was my favorite golf course. Definitely not like the best golf course as in like quality and shape, but definitely was my favorite, and that's why it has a lot of meaning to me. All right, next question. What PGA Tour player do I think my game is most like? Very simply, it's Patrick Reed, just because I don't hit cuts, and he doesn't hit cuts, and so, yeah. Next question, what's my favorite wedge number? I'd have to say it'd probably be right around 75 yards, because that's about the fullest I can hit a 60 degree, and I know it's gonna go no more than 80, and so usually I just grip down a tiny bit, and that's like a 75-yard wedge shot. All right, next questions. Tips to work on your own golf swing. Get a swing coach or send me a DM and I'll tell you how to fix it. I've been told I'm really good at fixing golf swings, so it's kind of a hobby of mine. But otherwise, get a swing coach, because they'll be better at it than just some guy on YouTube. Do I think Armlock should be banned? Yes. Armlock's a form of anchoring, and if you're going to get rid of anchoring at the chest and the belly putter, you might as well get rid of Armlock. Next question, what are my thoughts on Bryson? He's a cool guy. Bryson's a cool guy, and being a Clovis East alum, I like him and I support him because of that. I think that sometimes when you're so smart, your emotions can get the best of you, and sometimes you're so smart that you overthink problems, and I think that's what has happened to him a little bit with the driver, and like the recent comments he made about his driver sucking. And it's not because it sucks, it's just because it's not perfect, and he's a perfectionist, and in golf there's no perfect. And so that's really always been my thoughts on Bryson. All right, what part of my game is PGA Tour ready? Absolutely none of it. There's a reason why I'm going to play at a junior college next year, and that's because my game isn't ready. If I had to pick a piece of the game, I like to think my wedges off tight lies, inside 10 yards, would compete with maybe a guy on the PGA Tour. But even that is so insignificant that I can't say that it's PGA Tour ready, because that's like, I can't even say like my chipping is or anything, so none of it. Next question, how good's my wedge game? Joe, how good's my wedge game?
It's all right. Can always get better, but.
All right. Apparently it's all right. Next question, when was the first time you shot under par, and what's the big difference in shooting under par? For me, it's usually not necessarily putting well, but it's keeping the putter rolling and ball striking. Usually if I want to shoot under par, I need to hit 12 to 14 greens at a minimum to do it. And if I want to play well and shoot right around even par, I need to hit about 10 to 11. Because of that, I think those were the two things. I know the first time I shot under par was at a Belmont Country Club on the front 9. I shot 35 on the front side. I want to say I hit 7 or 8 greens that day. All right, next question. Who is my favorite player that I've played with? Honestly, I haven't ever played with anybody that crazy special. I guess in tournaments, I play with Jake Betancourt a lot in tournaments. Usually I play pretty well when I play with him in a tournament round, and so I guess him because I play well when I play with him. There's really only ever been one time that I've played poorly with him, and that was in the Lynn Ross earlier this season in the 3rd round. But otherwise, I usually play really, really well with him. So I'd have to say Jake, or usually anytime when you get to play with an ex-college guy is pretty fun because they're not in college at that time, and so they still know and they still talk about what it's like to play. They know what it's like to play in college, but you're able to pick their brain. Last question of the day: why do you putt and use 2x4s on the range? For me, it's all alignment. They basically do the same exact thing as alignment sticks. They're a lot bigger than alignment sticks, and so I feel like they work a lot better for me. And they're 3D. There's an extra layer to them of added depth, and so I feel like I'm able to use them better. And I almost feel like when I hit down them, I create it's a channel, and I'm able to just zero in on that channel. But that's just me. For putting, it works on my putting stroke, and it's straight back, straight through. And so that's the one thing. And I know that usually a lot of people say there needs to be arc in the putting stroke, and I would agree, but there's no wrong way to putt. And so I adopted that, in the January this year, and I don't see myself going away from it anytime soon because it's made my putting a lot better. All right, well, that's all for the monthly Q&A. My goal is to do this the 3rd Wednesday, or the 3rd week, that Wednesday of that 3rd week. I'm gonna do this. I think it's a fun thing to do. It keeps one thing it does, it allows me to not have to worry about too much YouTube because it's a lot easier to film a Q&A than it is to film the vlog videos or the episode videos. Although there will be my goal is to have a what's in the bag posted on Monday, and then going to Florida here, leaving Friday after you guys will see this. And so I'm gonna be playing a tournament there, and definitely gonna have some video of that, probably vlog part of it, and see what happens there. So until next time, cheers.